That is Harvarsi, and today I'm going to be answering my AS Media Studies CCR question number one, which is how does your opening sequence use and challenge conventions, and how does it represent social groups and issues? So, while deciding on the genre of the opening sequence, me and my teammate were sure on producing something that lies under suspense and thriller. We thought, as it's our favorite genre, we will come up with something pleasing and entertaining. Plus, it would also help us to break down all the hard work and thinking that goes behind it. So we have used as many conventions as we could, which are such as sound, editing, titles, shots, introducing the characters, and so on. So the film starts with a flashback scene in which a girl is sitting on the floor and her head is dropped in her hands as two people portrayed as shadows fighting over her, which basically symbolizes trauma. Now, the main focus here was to show how violence affects mental health, especially if it's inside your household. Secondly, talking or spreading information and awareness about mental health in my country, Pakistan, is still considered as a stigma. Why the list never really ends? Mostly because it was never a social issue before. Past generations never considered it as a serious issue, so it continues to be a taboo till date. Now, if we talk about the very next scene of our film, it's basically the same girl which was sitting on the floor before, opening her eyes after she experienced the flashback of her trauma. Now, as she gets up, it's clear that she is covered in wounds and has been tortured. The age group she belongs to is teenagers. Why we chose this group is to basically show that is to highlight the physical torture they go through in this country, especially. Later, as the film goes by, we understand the girl is kidnapped by a man who's in his 30s. Now, how does this relate to the flashback she got? So basically, the thought behind it was to connect physical torture with what she experienced before, to basically connect physical and mental torture. Her being physically tortured and thrown into a dark room by the kidnapper is unconsciously opening the doors to her past traumas and what happened with her in the past. This again brings the main issue, which is getting affected mentally. Other conventions, such as the film title, was completely chosen to make it sound interesting. There was not really a thought process behind it. It was just chosen to make it interesting and grabbing for the viewers. I came up with it, and it was just to grab attention of the viewers. Other conventions, such as sound, now plays a drastic role in films. We tried our best to use non-diegetic sounds to intensify the scene and switching roles. Also, the shots of the setting and the characters. Now, if we talk about the very first scene of the film, it basically is two people portrayed as shadows fighting over a girl. The shadows are comparatively shown very large to highlight their dominance during the scene, and the girl is comparatively shown tiny because it's being told that she is oppressed mentally. So comparing the shadows and the girl experiencing the murder in front of her eyes, that shot was taken by my teammate. And the very second shot of the film was the girl opening her eyes. So we took an extreme close up shot of showing her opening her eyes suddenly after waking up, after experiencing the flashback. That shot was to make the scene very intense, as if she was experiencing something very worse, which was already shown. And the sound which was coming with the non-diegetic sound, which continued from the flashback, it ended on the eye-opening sequence, which made it very intense in itself. The last shot I would like to talk about would be the last shot of our film. It was the shot when the girl turns back and sees the kidnapper standing right in front of her. That shot was personally one of the favorite shots, because we carried out as we wanted it to be, as the shot shows the dominance of the kidnapper throughout the film. It starts from below and goes up to the kidnapper's face to show his dominance carried throughout the film. And the second shot is the girl shot from the above, which again shows her importance in front of the kidnapper. We also added titles such as who did the camera work, who did the writing of the film, who did the script play, everything along with the movie till the end. And in the end, the director and the producer's name was there. The difficult part was editing, as the location and lighting we chose for the movie was very dull because of the genre. So during the editing part, we really had to match it to the whole scene of the film, which was a pretty difficult task but a fun one. So this was my AS Media Studies CCR question number 1 answered.